I think one, everybody, especially minorities, I'll say instead of black people, but we've talked about this before, that like black people are automatically kind of predisposed to kind of like not trust the system for a variety of reasons. So when I'm stepping into an environment where you've got one guy that's like selling that anti-establishment narrative, and he's also like pretty funny and he's telling jokes and shit, to push back on him, I have to do it in a way that is like I'm pushing back substantively on everything he's saying, but I can't come off as like a screechy redditor. Like I don't want to come in like soying the fuck out, and then everybody's like, "Well, Nick was like chill. He's just like chatting with us," and now you've like turned it into a screaming match. So yeah, I don't know. So it's a really really difficult needle to thread.
Yeah, I think generally a softer approach is going to work with most kind of situations.
For sure. Although in that
So
circumstance, he's on so much wild shit. I'm like, bro, this guy's literally saying like, you know how black people beat their girlfriends? Like, we
yeah,
gotta chill,
right,
dude. Yeah.
right. That shit fascinated the shit out of me. But I think what works really well for Nick is like, I he even though he can be very sneaky with some of the stuff that he says, or a little bit slippery with some of the takes, like the one with the religion and marrying a black woman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He is quite charismatic, and he does appear to be willing to say the off the cuff stuff,
Mm-hmm.
kind of in the same vibe as Trump. That it makes him endearing to some degree.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because when people are willing to also openly say stuff that's like really ass backwards, and say it with a smile, and say like it's hard to describe charisma to people, but he does have that form.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can make him seem more trustworthy than he actually is. So even though he's telling you literally, like, I don't want your people to exist anymore, like, because of how he says it, it makes it more palatable, which is fucked up to think about, but it is true. And I think good politicians have that ability.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of people, because I had to stress this a little bit early on. People say some shit like, I really appreciate Trump being honest. I was like, okay, well, hold on, okay? Just because somebody's being honest doesn't make them good. It just makes them honest. It's good to be honest, but that doesn't make the message good, right? Like I can tell you to your face, like I really want to kill you because you're a homosexual, and like it's cool that I'm honest, but that doesn't make the message good. Okay, we have to be able to evaluate whatever's coming past the honesty, and people seem like they lose track of that sometimes. Where, well, as long as they're being straightforward, they're being a truth sayer. I could definitely get on board with what this guy's saying. It's like, all right,
Yeah, I think the issue becomes I think folks have gotten so used to hearing politicians speak and the way that they kind of dodge and weave a lot of difficult questions and, you know, kind of give a lot of lip service that when they hear someone just be candid in a political context, it is refreshing. That's why even though I can fully acknowledge he's absolutely a racist part, and if his views were to come to pass, I'd be extremely against it. I could
yeah.
still have a laugh and enjoy some of it because I'm like, it is refreshing for me.
Yeah, for sure it is. I just, oof, it's just scary. It's just scary the idea of like being able to take over like a really big audience, because Nick has initially he kind of hitched himself on me because I was one of the only people willing to kind of like hear him out, because I'll listen anyway now, and I like the arguments. He's a smart guy, so it's like challenging, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah,
But now he's like very clearly he sees like Sneeko's audience. I don't think if my audience gets converted to Nazis, then you know what, go for it. Like I'm a dumb fuck, and I deserve it if that happens, and they deserve it. Fuck them. But Sneeko's audience, I think, is way more primed for that kind of stuff, because he's not like a hardcore debater kid or anything like that. So I think they're a little bit warmer, amenable to that type of rhetoric. So I just have to be, yeah, that's just something that I have to keep in mind, I guess. When I see Nick like jumping on Sneeko shit over and over and over again, it's like, fuck, imagine he grows like a huge audience off the back of Sneeko stuff. That would be really, really, really bad.
I mean, I think that's inevitable. The way that the red pill movement kind of functions, their views really do a lot with his and others.
Sure, a little bit, yeah.
Well, not just a little bit. I think most red people will, profess their love for religion and conservative values. This whole kind of like, appealing to, what the parents want. And so when he talks about one mono ethnic or cultural society and one group of people in power, like that's
Mm-hmm.
the way a lot of these red pillars would see society. I
Yeah.
would
The only reason I
that's
say a
why
little bit is because like I think yesterday Nick fucked up in going a little bit too hard. Normally he's more tactful. He was really bad on the race stuff. Like there were a couple of things where he either should have just lied or been more tactful. Like that thing about like, if I have a black roommate, we're probably gonna fight over the shower more. Why would you even say that? Like you don't need to
yeah,
say that to maintain your audience. That was so stupid.
yeah.
Uh,
I think he was trying to find a good example to be able to still make his point palatable. I think he fucked up on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just that, or I don't know. Maybe black people didn't take it the same way. That sounded wild to me. The idea that like if I had a black roommate, we're gonna be fighting over shit more just because he's black. Like even if I was racist, I don't think I would ever say that. But
I agree, but I really think that their desire to have conservative values out trumps any kind of racist stuff that he would say.
oh,
I wouldn't be
maybe
surprised if I
you're saying there
saw-
are like certain minorities that are like, you know what, dude, he's conservative. Yeah, he's racist, but at least we connect on this. You think they'd be like chill with it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
that's possible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Most of the views that I've seen within like the red pill sphere
Mhm.
track really well along with the conservative part.
Sure.
Their love of cops, their anti-establishment views, their
The Trump
pro-second,
worship.
and these views in a vacuum are not wrong. Like I agree on, like for example, the Second Amendment. I think people's right to bear arms. Like I'm cool with some of the ideas that they have, but what I'm trying to say is it tracks perfectly along. And so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Nick go on like a bunch of red pill podcasts. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. In fact, I am very confident that through his connection with Sneeko, I can see this guy meeting with a lot of people within the red pill sphere. You can't see it?
Wait, fuck, say that last thing again. I'm sorry. I just got super triggered. My bad. Just repeat just that last sentence.
I was just saying that I could see Nick Fuentes going on a bunch of these red.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the only thing, the biggest inhibitor. God, I hate. Do you know? Random. Do you know who FD Signifier is?
Sure. Yeah. I know.
God, I hate that fucking loser, fuck piece of shit. Fuck, I hate him so much. Sorry.
Whoa, what happened?
Him and Noah Sampson, two fucking loser video essayist, racist fucking pieces of shit. I fucking tweeted. I opened it. I shouldn't have it. Now I'm off. Now I'm triggered. Sorry. Okay.
No,
Pulling
pull
back.
it up. I mean,
no. Hold on. Responding to your point. I'm sorry, because you bring up a good point, and that there is like a lot of overlap between like the conservatives and kind of like the red pillars and like the neo Nazis. The only thing I think that would keep them from going there is that because these guys aren't like good representatives of like red pill stuff. Like if Nick is admittedly like an incel and shit, I don't know if Nick Tate's audience or like a Fresh and Fit audience, or not Nick Tate, I'm sorry, Andrew Tate or like a Fresh and Fit audience is going to be looking at like these people as role models. You know, that might be the one thing that keeps them out. But
oh no. I vehemently disagree.
you think?
In fact, I've seen Tate do podcasts with like Muslim scholars or Christian scholars, and they ate all that shit up.
Well, I guess if they're only there to talk about like that particular thing, maybe yeah. Like if they're only talking about politics and not like dating or anything like that, sure.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely see them overlapping. They would eat that shit up. I mean, just the mere fact that these guys constantly reference religion and religious leaders and stuff like that, like they're gonna go right down that rabbit hole. But yeah, you want to talk about this tweet that you saw that pissed you off? I think what happened?
Hold on. I don't even need to respond to these fucking losers. I just realized I'm done with these guys and I need to be done. Okay. It's just people always get mad about the platforming argument. So basically, I think Noah Sampson was tweeting out like, oh, like just chatting with my Nazi friends, all having fun and blah, blah, blah. Because he's one of those people that think that you should never platform an opposing view ever, that they need to be banned from the internet, thrown into the guillotine, murdered, raped, killed, everything. Like any opposing viewpoint has to be excised from society. Otherwise, like the Nazi disease will infect everybody's brain. And then FD Signifier was, I don't know if he's making a Uncle Tom joke or I don't know.
This is a really cool strategy.
I think they're mostly pissing and moaning about Sneeko and Sneeko platforming.
Subscribe to
Sneeko platforming Fuentes or whatever. Yeah.
Subscribe.
But I hate these types of people because both of these fucking losers will never ever change a single person's mind in their entire life. Like their entire platforms and purpose for existing is literally just to preach to the choir, which is fine. Hold on, let me back up. Sorry, hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'm better than this. I got over this kind of mean shit. Hold on.
Oh yes, so the whole irresponsible.
Let me
talking to people.
Yeah, let me rewrite that. Okay. I think that there can be an important role that you play in informing your own audience about certain topics. I think that's great and fine. I think that you can do that, and I think there's a place for that, and there's value there. That's really good. But what I don't like is those people veering out of their lane to fight with people like me. Okay, I like to talk in combative audiences because I think that I can slowly change people's minds on the other side. But when I have these worthless subhuman fucking boat anchors dragging me to the bottom of their fucking shit-filled ocean where they just want me to preach about, oh, progressivism and diversity is our greatest strength, and that's all I should be screeching to everybody, and I should never talk to anybody with an opposing point of view. I hate it. It drives me fucking crazy. Sorry. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah. The whole idea of like, don't platform these people, don't give them a voice, don't give them oxygen. I don't know. I just don't care for it. To me, it's more interesting to hear what these people have to say and to sift through it myself. I think as a grown adult, I feel as though I have at least the critical thinking ability to be able to discern when someone's trying to be very deceptive or not. And if I don't hear them out, I can't make that kind of
For sure.
prescription, or I can't understand them that way. And so, is there an argument to be made that frivolously bringing on these people and letting them ramble on about their views for an hour is probably bad? Sure, I think you'd certainly make that.
Well,
but I think if you have a counterweight to that, then at the very least you've balanced it out to some degree.
Yeah,
but
and my
me,
issue
I
is
would want to hear these people and why they think what they think, even if it's unedited and not interrupted. I think it's interesting for me because I'm like, oh, that's how your brain functions. That's how you came to your conclusions. But I don't know. I don't like the whole idea of like, well, these people are problematic, so we shouldn't give them any oxygen. I'm like, why?
And
these views are out there. Let's hear them.
Exactly. Those are the two big issues. That one is people need to know how to address these views, because I see way too many times. I've seen clips of Matt Walsh's documentary where he's asking questions like gender studies professors, and they don't know how to answer. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? That, and two, these views are out there. There's people that believe them. There's people that talk about them. You can't just like cover your ears and go la 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 and pretend that they don't exist, because people are out there listening and they're getting indoctrinated. And it's part of your responsibility as somebody that exists out here and believes in the things you believe to be able to adequately counter these views. Like, no offense, and I'll say this a million times, and they can click me as many times as they want. Like, if Nazism or fascism is so easy to spread that like people just listening to these people on a YouTube thing or a podcast or whatever is going to make them Nazis, then fuck it. We should all just be fucking Nazis. If it's that infectious, you're not going to stop it anyway. Like, I don't believe that though. That's wild. You should be able to push back against these ideas. We literally fucking beat Nazis in World War II. Okay, like how you can't beat them on fucking YouTube or fucking Twitter. That's wild to me. How little confidence or faith you have in your own system of belief that you think that just by having one of these dudes speak for 20 minutes, your entire fucking audience is going to become a meme comic and like be radicalized, instantaneously. That shit drives me wild.
Yeah. Okay. Two things. I gotta respond to two things here. Didn't respond. Okay. 10 minutes. Okay, so let's do the first one. Actually, we'll do the second one first. So this is something I see a lot of people. I got a few Instagram DMs. Yo, how dare you just sit there and listen to Nick Fuentes and all this stuff? Like, guys, this wasn't a prepared thing. This is a complete surprise event. All right, if somebody would told me we're gonna have a race realism debate with Nick Fuentes, probably wouldn't have showed up. Okay,
Sure.
So it's important to note that like the circumstance that led to me and Jadion being there is one. Two, just because we sat there quietly didn't mean we agreed. I just let the man ramble because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So how did I look stupid just being like, excuse me? Like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay. So those two things are different. It doesn't mean that because I was sitting there quietly that I agreed with anything this man was saying. I was just letting him go because I had nothing to rebut with. And the second thing, people had this critique of you, and so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, we agree that you've probably been able to change people's minds and you've wrecked Sneeko in a debate, etc., etc. But when you do up to 10 videos on this guy, or you do 10 debates with him and you keep wrecking him, so would you not argue that you are no longer doing it to inform people like his views are backwards, but you're just essentially doing it for entertainment? That would be FD Signifier's argument.
I mean, I think that there is, so this is something that I talked about before, and you brought it up as well. I don't think there is a thing as just entertainment. I think it's always playing two roles. Like when you're entertained, it's like that idea of like when someone's like, oh, it's just a joke. And it's like, well, it kind of is, but there's something else that's going on at the same time. So I mean, like, is it entertainment? I mean, ultimately, everything I do on stream really is for entertainment, right? It's not like academic or anything. But I mean, like, it's a little bit more than just entertainment, right? Because we're talking about like pretty serious issues. So, I mean, if you want to make the accusation, or if you want to make the accusation of like milking content or whatever, I mean, that's probably true to some extent as well. But like, and this is kind of like the double-edged, or this is like the tightrope that every political streamer can walk on. In some ways, maximizing entertainment or maximizing like hot topics is kind of the same as maximizing your political effectiveness too. Because somebody might say, well, I think you're just covering all this red pill stuff because it's blowing up right now and it's really popular. And in one sense, I can just counter and say, yeah, that's true. I am covering it because it's blowing up and it's popular. If it wasn't popular and it wasn't blowing up, I wouldn't fucking talk about it because there's no reason to talk about it, right? Like if Andrew Tate is like getting really popular and a whole bunch of people have some horrible opinions on women as a result of videos he's making, well, of course I'm going to talk about it. Like that's that's literally, that makes it worth talking about. You know, if there was like some weird dude that like tweeted out that he wants to like rape all women and men should be able to do that and he's getting like 2 likes, well, I'm not going to cover his shit. Nobody believes what this guy's saying. That's fucking wild. Why would I even give him, you know, the time of day? That's just dumb. But yeah, when it gets more popular, it's kind of, I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, and not talking about these things doesn't make it go away. Not discussing these people doesn't stop this wave that's coming or all this stuff. You know, the manosphere stuff was getting popular for quite some time without anybody really covering it.
Mm-hmm.
Then a bunch of people did their fucking video essays on it, still remained just as popular, if not more. You know, like there was no way to really stop this tidal wave because I think the societal issues that existed that kind of led to this movement growing existed before any of these rebuttals happened. So to me, when people say like, oh, it's promoting this stuff and making it worse, like what proof do you have of that? What proof is there that when you or somebody else covers it, that it makes the situation worse? I think that's just mental cope that people have because they can't accept the fact that they don't have control over the fact that this shit's spreading and it's getting more popular. And so they look to people and they're just going to prescribe to them like responsibility. Oh, this is your fault. This is your fault for encouraging and platforming these people. It's like, stupid, this stuff was already spreading irrespective. I think I just now have an opportunity to show to my audience or whoever it is why it's stupid and also make some money.
Yeah, people will do that where they will I'll debate somebody or I'll talk to somebody and then they'll get like really big and be like, oh, that's your fault. That person grew because of you. I was like, well, okay, hold on. Do you really know that they grew 100% because of me? Because like there are people that I have platform that haven't grown and they just like disappeared into nothing. And then there are people that I have debated that there are people that I haven't debated that have grown, and there are people that I have debated that have like totally disappeared. So it's like, who's to say, like, you know, I mean, you can have some effect, of course. It would be silly for me to say like there's no effect ever. That would be disingenuous. But I think it's a little bit silly to get into this hardcore thing like where you're like, oh, you 100% are the sole reason why this guy grew, and if you would have just ignored him, they wouldn't have at all. It's like, okay, like people claim that I did that to Keffels, that I was the reason why Keffels blew up. It's like, I don't know if that's the case, man, but
I understand that people might have some effect, but to what ability we can even measure that, it's very difficult. It could also be said that by not talking about it, you make it worse because people are like, oh, they have no rebuttal to this. Nobody can counter these people because what they're saying is the truth. So if nobody rebuts them or nobody goes at them or constantly talks about like how wrong this stuff is, well, you know, if they're working so aggressively hard to spread their ideology and their ideas and nobody ever counters them, how do you ever stop that spread?
No.
Out of curiosity. I'm asking you, how would you stop it?
I don't think you can. And this is also kind of like my issue is that type of thinking, because this is kind of the trap that Vosh painted himself in and the ideology these people paint themselves in, is you basically put yourself in a world where you can never, ever, ever talk about like growing negative trends because you're just like irresponsibly platforming or giving attention to something. And it's like, well, I guess we don't ever talk about this now because we can't platform any of the other speakers. We can barely contend with the ideas because a lot of these guys don't even know what the ideas are because they're like, they make these horrible caricatures or straw men of these, like, honest to God, one of the most impressive things that I can do in other people's eyes when I'm having debates with some of these red pillars, a lot of these people are shocked that I even understand their point of view. Like if I can summarize like, oh, like they believe this because of that and that and that. A lot of people on the other side will hear them like, oh wow, this guy at least understands what we fucking think or feel. And that automatically puts me ahead of, and I'm not exaggerating this, but of like 98% of other left-leaning online commentators. Because if you ask them like, what's the point of the red pill? They'll say, oh, it's because they hate women. What's the point of like race realism or America First? Oh, it's because they hate minorities. Like, not like that. That's not the point. And then when you say that over and over again, and then here's the biggest problem. This is like the dare problem. And it almost happened yesterday on that podcast, or maybe it even did a little bit with some of the other people on that podcast. The problem is that when you say over and over again, well, what is Nick Fuentes? What is America First? They hate minorities. They hate minorities. So it's just all born out of hate. And then you actually meet them, or you see them interact with somebody, and you're like, well, hold on.
Oh, did you
Four black dudes talked to Nick last night, and yeah, he was a little bit edgy, but he seemed pretty friendly. They were laughing. They were joking. You know, they were going back and forth. He didn't really seem like he hated him that much. And when they asked him, he's like, no, I don't hate black people. I just think we should all have our own places. That actually seems a little bit reasonable. Now, because you've primed their mind in one direction so hard, when they are confronted with reality and they see it's nothing like what you described, now they're not going to believe a single fucking thing you say. And that's nobody's fault but your own. It's the same that I argue like for the Breonna Taylor shit or for the Michael Brown shit or for any other thing. When you misrepresent like a BLM case and then somebody like sees the facts like, wait, what? Now that you've lost their ear completely, they're not going to trust a single fucking thing you say. And that's your fault because you don't have to be like that. Just accurately summarize their views and attack them from there. When you inaccurately summarize somebody's views, it makes me think you don't have a counter for it. That's what drives me crazy.
I think what you said about priming them negatively and then finding out that wasn't true. Like, that is the basis for like how the red pill stuff got very popular. I think society was primed a certain way, and then they came to learn that life was very different, and then that made them enraged, and then they went the opposite direction. Sure. I think that's how you create that kind of anti-establishment sentiment. So yeah, entirely, I do agree. You know, I don't. Noah Samson, is that the guy who like?
Yes.
Oh, no. And he does like these like deadpan jokes and always has like a deadpan voice.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I got it from the first impression. Yeah.
I don't mind FD Signify. I've watched like maybe a video. It's too long, so I just can't watch all. But I don't mind the content personally. I find it so funny because I think Jadeon brought this up to me. He talked to me about H3H3 and I watched his debate with him. And H3H3 said pretty much verbatim what like you hear Hassan and these guys say, which is, why would you platform these people? It's irresponsible. Like there's no conversation, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if these guys understand that the very reason why the red pill movement became so popular, or why a lot of these other movements become so popular, is because their issues aren't discussed. Because they don't see the things that they care about that are affecting them on a day-to-day basis being reflected in discourse. Okay. When these people feel so disenfranchised with all the discourse, which like pretty much only centered around women's issues for a very long time.
And LGBT and minority,
Which, cool, there's issues to be dealt with. It's not wrong. But when they feel ignored, how are you then going to complain that like about these people who are now speaking to them, even if it's not good? We can agree on a lot of it being bad. Even if it's not good, they're the only ones talking to their issues. So then not talking about it led to these movements being created. And then they also want you to not talk about it now that these issues are in the mainstream. Because then it grows it. And then they expect anything to change. It's like, bruv, the way we got to this point was not talking about it. The way that these movements even got big was not talking about it. And now that it's big, you're like, let's not talk about it. It's like, do you not see like the cognitive dissonance? Like, I feel so dumb sometimes because I'll vehemently disagree with some of the stuff the red pill say, much like yourself. And then I'll listen to the other side, and they sound so stupid and unhinged. Their idea of dealing with problems is not confronting it. Whereas the red pill people will be like, you're always in control. You got depression, get out of bed. You're dealing with something, you're the one who needs to deal with it. All of it's in your power. And then the other guys are just being like, everything's systemic.
It's all systemic. It's all oppression. You can't do anything. Everybody's beautiful at every size. You're all fat or whatever. That's why I always try to have empathy for people like even people like Sneeko. Like my audience will look at him like, oh, like he's so stupid or whatever. It's like, yeah, because you listen to me all day. That sounded really conceited. I didn't mean it that way. But like, if you're in a world where all you're listening to are like the craziest left-wing bots you can hear, like, bro, it's hard for me to not turn into a fucking Nazi, and ironically, when I listen to some of these dudes, though. Because, like, you listen to some of these guys on the left, and you're like, you guys are unhinged. You actually sound fucking insane. Like, I feel like if I were to be inundated in this media landscape for, a couple weeks, and I wasn't already fully bought into, like, what your messaging was, like, I would just come out as, like, the most hateful, evil fuck person in the world. And even a lot of people on the left are starting to get sick of, like, how radical some of the, like, Me Too stuff has gotten, some of the LGBT stuff has gotten. It's like, damn, you guys need to turn it the fuck down. What is wrong with you guys?
I don't know where these things are going, and even identifying as a centrist nowadays, or even someone's like center left or whatever, it's just like a cop out in people's eyes. Well, there's no such thing as a center left. You're just a right winger in disguise. I'm like, all right. And last night's podcast, I think, was like a good reflection of our inability to accept that people on our team don't do everything the same way. Like if I were to sit down with FD Signifier and we were to talk about, a good majority of like social issues, social programs, what we want for society, what we want our government to be doing. I think there'd be a lot of overlap in terms of like what we agree on politically. But I think the way that they go about like prescriptively telling folks like what folks can't or can't be doing and what's good for the group is just so off-putting. It makes you not want to identify with the group whatsoever.
Mhm.
And I feel like I've talked about this enough, so it's not something I want to really rehash. But me reading those tweets, I'm just like, it's crazy how all of these guys repeat the same fucking rhetoric, which is
Yeah.
essentially don't talk, don't platform these people. I don't know. It's interesting that they all have the exact same talking points, and it really does make them sound like bots.
Yeah.
And so when I hear Sneeko call them bots,
Uh-huh.
more and more I'm like, I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, 100%, and that's always
Because
my
they do
issue.
sound like
They
bots.
do, yeah, they do, and they repeat the same brainless talking points, and they don't even understand the opposition. They don't even know who they're arguing against. Like, they don't know why these people are so upset or why they're so fucking triggered over shit. And it's like, fuck, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me pose this to you. If I'm an uncertain person, I don't know how to feel about these issues. Okay.
Mhm.
I got the red pill guy who says, I'll talk to anybody. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He could be a neo-Nazi. Don't matter. I'll talk to anyone.
Mhm.
And then you have the other side who says, you don't need this information. These people are bad for you.
Yeah,
Who are
it
you more
automatically,
Who are you
just
more likely to be open to? The person who wants to show you everything, quote unquote, or the person who's like, we don't talk to these people because they're bad. Don't
Mhm.
worry. You don't need to know about them. You just need to know neo-Nazi.
yeah. It almost
you know,
sounds like,
white
even
supremacy.
without even knowing what they think or believe or feel, like, it's almost like you automatically, like, yeah, I'm probably not going to go with you. Okay? You sound like you're kind of a little bit afraid of conflict, Yeah.
How about, let me put this point to you. I didn't have that strong of an opinion on Nick Fuentes. I haven't seen him much. Okay. Dion didn't have much of an opinion on Nick Fuentes. We hadn't seen him much. By the end of that discussion last night, we both came away thinking like, oh yeah, this man's definitely a white supremacist. And this
Yeah.
man is definitely bad for black folks and minorities alike and for whatever image we have for the country. How can you look at that conversation and think like we came out of it like, oh yeah, this guy's fucking awesome? Are you crazy?
Mhm.
Like we both came away with a concrete idea that we didn't have of him before. All right. And so, yes, is some audience going to veer towards that? Sure. But they were probably already primed to fall for that kind of rhetoric to begin with.
Yeah.
To me, at least for me personally, like now I have a clear idea of who he is. And so I know how to move accordingly now. But I would not have trusted other people's opinions of him. Because let me tell you, if other people trusted other folks' like hearsay opinion about me,
Yep.
they would probably view me as a fucking antichrist. Because there's people out there who view me that way.
Mhm.
And so I don't put too much stake. I don't put too much stake into what other people try to tell me about other folks. The same way when you were going on Fresh and Fit, you could pull out the DMs. I literally told you nothing about them other than you should go on the podcast. Is that true?
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Because I'm like, you should make your own.
Draw your own
and
opinion.
this
Yeah.
have- That's it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. To me, the podcast last night did not make me more like adjacent to white supremacy or more like down with it. Nor did my audience members come away thinking like, you know what, man, I'm down with being erased as a black person. Like, I don't think that's what happened.
Mhm.
But I think these guys disagree and they think we contributed to harm. So what are you going to do from here on out to be better?
Mhm.
I'm asking you.
What what do we
Yeah,
do in terms of like platforming people, or in terms of like reaching out to people on the left or right? Which ones?
Well, for your irresponsible actions last night, engaging with Sneak over the 11th time, and also helping to platform Nick onto an even platform.
I mean, I like platforming where I'm at. I think that if you believe strongly enough in your ideas, you should be able to defend them. And if you can't, then get the fuck out or change your mind on shit. If you feel that unconfident about whatever you're preaching, that you feel like it can't stand up to any other person, then just leave. Then either you have a shit ideology or you're not the person to defend it. And then let the people that can do it and stay the fuck out of our way. That's what I would say. But
would you ever have a debate with either of those? Oh, I think you did one with Samson, right?
They'll never talk to me though, because I'm a Nazi to them. Unironically, neither of those characters.
You
will
didn't
ever-
debate Samson?
No, he will never. Those people never talk to me. No.
Really? I thought you debated him for some reason.
Well, fuck. Did I talk to him years ago? I talked to him a long time ago. Does anybody know? Actually, somebody can tell me.
Oh no, you talked to the other guy on TikTok who said like fat phobia is like as bad as racism or whatever. Who's
Oh.
the TikTok nerd? Political's what's his name? He's kind of like he looks like Samson but without a mustache
Fuck, I don't
and a
know.
little bit chubbier.
Not sure now. Oh,
You
Mr.
definitely talked to
Beard.
him. Oh yeah. The guy who has no Like, what was his take? Like your words are violence or some shit like that.
All right, some wild, just dumb shit.
Yeah, when you use the word retard, it was like oppressive, something like
Something
that, right?
like that. Yeah.
Okay, so it was him you talked to. It wasn't Samson.
Mhm.
You don't think Samson would ever be down to talk to you or FD Signify either?
If either of them wants to, I would. FD won't. He literally has me blocked on Twitter.
Okay.
The Samson guy, man, if he, I don't know, I could tweet at him. Oh,
He
shit.
did give you a shout out though. He said that you had a debate with Sneeko 10 times and you wrecked him every time. So I mean.
No, that
I mean,
wasn't a shout out. What was the end of that tweet?
I think he might have said something like, "So
He's
this
like-
isn't about changing minds. This is about entertainment."
Exactly. So fuck him.
Okay.
No, that wasn't a compliment. That was a backhanded insult.
Okay. I mean, he still acknowledged the fact that you wrecked him. I'm not gonna lie. If that was me, I'm like, I did destroy that mother. But, you know.
Yeah, but they
take
view that whole action as negative. They're like, "Wow, you wrecked him, so you got views on your YouTube. Congratulations, you're making money off the backs of the suffering of like all
But
the people
Destiny,
that are being."
That's why you got to develop some selective hearing or reading. You know what I mean? Just take the parts that you like and ignore the rest. And be like,
Yeah.
I am that dude. You know what I'm saying? You could have took that moment, went in the mirror, flexed a little bit, like, "Hey, Sneeko, I sunned you." You could have done that. Instead, you're just looking at the negatives. You feel?
Listen, dude, just because I have a woman's name doesn't mean I can selectively hear like a woman. Okay. So slow down.
Yo, you know what? Someone pulled this up yesterday. They're like, "Look at these guys not laughing at Destiny's N-word joke, but they laughed at Nick Fuentes." And you know what I realized? When you do a joke,
Yeah.
you abandon your joke because you know it's fucking problematic. So before anybody can voice any outrage, you abandon.
Well, yeah. If something's not going over, you just move on to the next thing.
No, but you don't even give it a chance to sit. You know,
How the fuck
you
would I-
gotta
hell no,
commit
that's
to.
some
No,
risky
you have
shit,
to
my
commit
dude.
to the joke. No, you have to commit to it. This is why I'm saying this. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why Nick does so well with that kind of racist humor, okay, and why it's like so obscene is because not only does he not flinch, but he stares you in the eyes. He's like, "I love my black people," and there's such an unhinged look in his face, like he's committed 150%. In your case, you will give the joke, and before the joke even has a second to breathe, you're already laughing. Like, I'm just kidding. Let it sit. Let him get a little
All right, I'll do that
uncomfortable before
next
you
time.
bring
Yeah,
him
I
back.
will. Okay, I'll
Okay?
remember this. Okay, we're gonna drop some big ones next time. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Let the pause set in and then break it. Why? Because the pause gives a sense for tension. Okay, and then boom, you hit him with the like, "Nah, we good. Don't worry. You still
Okay.
gonna find me."
All
Too.
right.
All right.
All right, got
That's-
it. I'm
that's
gonna do
my
this on an
advice.
in-person.
If you
debate.
don't believe me, here.
I'm doing
Anybody
it.
who's
It's too
listening,
late. Well, I'm gonna try it. I believe you. Okay.
I want you guys to do like a compilation of him doing these kind of edgy jokes and look at his reaction immediately after he says the joke. Just do a compilation. You'll notice what I'm talking about. All right. So let it hang. You know what I'm saying? Let your balls hang.
Okay, I'm on it, dude.
All right. You got D&D again today? I thought you already did that shit yesterday.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 in a row because we're doing some side quest shit to save Mr. Mooten. Yes.
Okay. Yo, one day when you're done with your current campaign, we'll definitely set one up together, man.
Yeah, sure thing. Maybe we can have Nick as part of it. You know. See how FD Signifier and Noah feel about that one.
Oh, you know what? I suggest that dating show. I just thought it'd be great content. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't love it. I still think I would too. Listen, I don't like Nick. I think you know he is a racist person, but I would 100% tune in to watch a white supremacist date on one like if I saw what's his name, Aiden Ross, bring on fucking Nick Fuentes, 150. There's literally nobody else online that I want to see more on that show than him, just to see the absurdity of it. I want to see what this man is like.
You know what's kind of like sad / funny?
Why would you bring him right next to
There's
me?
another truth there where. I think
Why
for
on
a lot of
earth would you do
the
that?
right person, it would radically change their worldview.
Who's these people?
Bro, I'm like sitting on the outside and you literally bring him right to my face hole. Like,
I'm really embarrassed. To
you
say
gotta be
this,
fucking with me, guy.
Alaska, and I was never racist, but if you would have ever asked me, and I might have even said this out loud to like friends or whatever, like I would always say like I could never date a black girl. It's just like that concept would just be wild to me. And it wasn't until I started coming down to Miami more and then actually like meeting black women, I was like, oh yeah, of course I could do this. This is so stupid. And I've had that experience like 2 or 3 times in my life where there are certain times I thought that about trans people before too. And then I'll start talking to certain people and I'll be like, oh yeah, this person's really cool. Like the fact that they're whatever is like, it takes a huge backseat to who it is. And I only need like 1 or 2 experiences. Like, oh yeah. And I try to keep that in mind now when I'm dealing with people. If I think negatively about a person or whatever, it's like, oh, you know, I feel like I could, but if I meet a person, you know, it feels different. So I feel like for a lot of people, just being introduced to people or having interactions with people that they think they're like fundamentally incompatible with is a really eye-opening experience, you know?
I definitely agree. Take for example,
A shitty
the younger
fucking-
generation. I think because they live so terminally, even folks who are living in Nebraska or like more rural areas, because they're constantly exposed to people from different communities or like admire folks from different communities. It's perfectly normal. Not only is it normal, it's like really encouraged. Their perception of race is like completely different than your generation of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that what you said in regards to like people just knowing folks from different communities definitely helps a lot. Because I feel like at least me growing up, especially, it was like very racially segregated. Black folks stay with black folks, white
Yeah.
folks stay with white folks. Even though we went to the same school, like if you look
Oh.
at the social circles, everyone kind of stayed.
Yeah, or the lunch tables. Yeah.
Right, and I think with these younger folks, even if they are in a mostly like whitely dominated area, you watch the way that they consume media online that they're into, and it's very evident to me that they view race drastically different than we do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appear that way
But-
to everyone because I think racism online is just much more readily available and much more discussed all the time. So it seems like the issue is more pressing. But if I were to poll most of the young people on their views and do the same poll with folks like my generation and above, I think the young folks would have a much more favorable view of like interracial marriage, a lot of like racial issues, systemic racism, all this stuff. They'd be much more like open to agreeing and saying it's real than people from my generation.
Yeah,
Do you
for
agree
sure.
or disagree?
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're an online person. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's. I would have to agree with your
Bro,
statement.
you, like, you
By the
can't.
way,
You brought him like right next to my
you guys
fucking
know, like,
face. I was like, bro, what are we doing
How
here?
about you guys and what are you guys using?
Roll 20.
Bro, that shit looks so goddamn ugly, bro. I don't know how you do. Like I know the role playing y'all's doing great, it's having fun, but
Yeah, you can probably do the
I mean-
VTT stuff, but you probably need to get like you have to pay people to do art and stuff. It gets a lot more.
what you mean? You have to pay people to do art?
Well, for the virtual tabletop stuff, don't you have like backgrounds and shit made or?
So there's like there's a website called so I'm using Tailspire. It's really easy. There's a website called Tails Tab. Yeah. Tails Tab. There you go. You literally go on it. You can pull up the website, and then you just look up any map. So let's say you want like a C map, and there's just a bunch of stuff already done. Then you can just adjust things little by little. But it's so easy. Anytime I've needed a map for like a specific campaign or anything I'm going through, there's so many people who create maps every day and upload it to there that you can find anything. And it's so easy to just it's literally you copy paste. You copy paste the map. It takes 2 seconds.
Do you think you can do
And
that
so-
for like commercial D&D campaigns though?
What you mean?
Well, like if we're all making money streaming it, Querbu's making money DMing it, I feel like you'd have to start paying people out for assets and stuff.
No, everything out here is like free to use.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. And then also it comes with so many pre-made minis and stuff like that, and stuff that people have uploaded online that you can use freely. So that also helps out a lot. And so, honestly, I think it's worth the investment. What you get back in terms of like the 3D aspect and how it makes visual component of the game so much better. I mean, it's just an investment that makes sense if you are making money off of.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
D&D
I'll think about it.
I mean, just take a look at the trailer. Go look at some of the videos.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. I think you linked me one where you guys were playing on. Was it Tabletop Simulator? Was it Foundry or?
Tabletop Simulator isn't as intuitive because it wasn't built for that. We just had to like jerry rig everything, but it was still really cool. Tailspire is literally built for that, and it's super easy to use. And so, and then also there's probably a bunch of people who would donate their minis to your campaign if you guys needed like a whole like people use Hero Forge to import minis, so that's one way that folks do it. But I'm sure like fans of yours could also help you customize things if you really needed it. So it can make it very interactive and easy to import if that was ever. Because I'm pretty sure if your fans played D&D, a lot of them probably.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I won't keep you, bro. I know you got D&D a little bit, so have fun. But yeah, I appreciate you on the mic stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the mic stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant mic in person. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. Have fun. Be careful. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Hmm. Do you and August ever get into heated discussions over pay and shit? I don't think so.
I just don't care. Talking about them to me feels like a waste of time. But I think more can be learned and understood. Talking about them to me feels like they're harmful. Not trying to undermine that. I have a lot to add. Emblematic their indie spirit, and creators like myself, as well as independent documentarians, maintain their indie spirit and keep making the type of content that we want to make, that you want to see. So I want to say thank you so much to Curiosity Stream and the people at Nebula for sponsoring this video. And back to the video. If I told you I was going to talk about two black men who have a large following of mostly young males and talk about a lot of modern issues, usually pertaining to women, and are emblematic with some of the major issues I have with the manosphere, you probably think I was talking about Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit obviously are a very popular target here on LeftTube, and for obvious reasons, they're fucking awful. But I don't have a lot to add to a Fresh and Fit discussion. I went on record saying that they're just so bad, I don't care. I understand they're harmful, not trying to undermine that. I just don't care. Talking about them to me feels like a waste of time. But I think more can be learned and understood about the manosphere by looking at a much less toxic, but still very problematic black duo in Abbott and Preach.
In case you haven't
How did I miss this?
Yet, what I do better than anybody is adapt. Last night was playing.
Why do you never have sponsors on your YouTube vids? Surfshark is here sometimes. Surfshark.com/deals. Or surfshark.deals/destiny.
Tonight.
Wow, AIM, thanks for tier 3 YouTube 7. Dude.
There's always a plan B.
Not too far from the benign goofiness of the Gary V group is the elusively toxic Abbott and Preach group. Except I imagine that the age range for the Gary V community skews a bit older because it's such a wide swath of different types of men and boys looking for helpful information, whereas Abbott and Preach are very much an online and YouTube friendly thing.
It's
they
roasting
make this type
time.
of content that is likely to skew younger and more impressionable. It's hard to find reliable demographic data on the channel without knowing the actual metrics, so take that with a grain of salt, but I think it's pretty fair to say that their core demographic probably skews in that late teen, mid-20s range that, you know, probably most of us have. Especially for young men and boys who are seeking creators that offer male-centered perspectives on trending topics.
You're a young man and you want to learn, avoid making mistakes that I made. Take some notes.
I found Abbott and Preach pretty early on in my own YouTube creator journey because I was looking for black male commentary creators who weren't outwardly toxic. Initially, I was happy to find Abbott and Preach, but it didn't take long to see that while not being outwardly toxic, their content still had a lot of concerning elements. To their credit, and I want to be clear, we're kind of 50-50 with these guys, and I'm gonna not be 50-50 in the video to illustrate the problem, but I want to make sure it's clear that there are elements of Abbott and Preach I think are redeemable. I just wish those other elements.
Thank you for the content and base takes. Very helpful listening to during long, boring work days.
Weren't so bad. They tend to take aim at what is an overzealous and often unfair media landscape and general tone around gender from the perspective of men. They see it as often too critical towards men around certain issues. Abbott in particular seems to be very invested in calling out elements of hypocrisy in the ongoing gender wars that are popular in social media as well as TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to go.
A lot of you guys are feeding into your own perpetual failures in life and then getting mad at the market and shitting on it. Women do it as well. I find it fascinating. Everyone's always blaming everybody else. Men nowadays, women nowadays. No, some of y'all just need to do some self-work and figure your shit out. And it's a lot easier to say to women. And even women do this. Women get on their TV shows and be like, what's wrong with men today? Why don't they have their shit together? Because we going through some shit. We are. And guess what, ladies? You going through some shit too.
There is a prominence of feminist rhetoric and wokeness and SJWs that can sometimes have blind spots on how people engage with gender as it pertains to men, including queer and trans men. I will argue with anyone that women know a lot less about men than they think. It's actually hilarious sometimes. There are a lot of situations where, from a man's perspective, women sometimes will get passes on overtly toxic, patriarchal, or even homophobic behavior that we wouldn't get, or that men are sometimes not allowed the space to grow and learn from certain behaviors or mistakes in the public sector, etc. However, there's a lot of nuance that often gets left out of these valid grievances that, I don't have time to get into, but you all kind of know what they are. And as I've pointed out in other videos, the problem in the gender wars, black or otherwise, isn't men versus women. It's really everyone versus patriarchy, but that doesn't get the same amount of clicks. And a lot of people hear the phrase patriarchy and decide to shut off their ears, even if everything they're hearing makes perfect sense. It's like telling white people about white supremacy. For younger boys and men weaned under patriarchy and lacking models and frameworks, or in many cases, just the language to engage with these topics around gender effectively, it can feel affirming to see confident and charismatic men, especially black men, speak on some of these anxieties, to call out double standards and make an effort to bring women to task in a way that they often don't see on some of these issues.
Okay, so the issue that I'm having with this discussion is, like, I think it's fine for everyone to talk like this and esoterically, but we do have a crisis, right? We do have an issue with a lot of people who are very likely to die alone.
Oh shit, I never saw his Fresh and Fit appearance. Was this a long time ago, or why does he seem so much different? Is it just the beard?
Getting in their own way with some of these ridiculous standards, and they face a lifetime of loneliness. So we can get up here and we can be saying all this stuff and it sounds cute, but I'm a pragmatic person. I think about what's good for society and what's good for communities. And so when I see so many people who are being left behind, to me, it just sounds so sad. I hope you guys rethink some of these ideas, because even though it may work for you and it may be fine for you, you got 3 other girlfriends down the street who are going to die alone. And that's where it's sad. So that's all I want to say.
So having ABBA and Preach, or numerous similar figures, because they are not unique in this style of content, talk about issues of lookism for men, or double standards for intimate partner violence, or talk about how to better talk to girls or maneuver relationships. Talk about the way men who show emotions outside of aggression and lust are often seen as lesser than. This is valuable. In some ways, it might almost seem that ABBA and Preach are trying to deconstruct hegemony by challenging norms that often aren't challenged. Further, they do also make a lot of content that is critical of the most ridiculous elements of the manosphere and alpha male podcasts and political issues, etc.
You preach to these men that they have to always seek this thing, that this is the way to live, that this is the best way, but you don't even walk the talk. That's what I find distasteful. It's like a Derek Jackson talking about be faithful to your wife, don't pay for box. Come to find out, this man's cheating on everyone. How are you any different? Can you tell me? Now everyone's gonna get up, well, we're attacking people in the manosphere. I don't care about the manosphere. I don't care about none of this. Move with integrity in life. That's it. I'm not here about some scene. Oh, you can't go on this podcast. I don't care. At the end of the day, the truth remains the truth. When I came into the game, when I was listening to Patrice, we didn't call it red pill. We just called it the truth. These niggas is fronting on some points.
On the surface, they may seem like a nice, safe entryway into discourses around social issues, but specifically aimed at men. But sadly, that's really not the most accurate description of them from my perspective, or other creators with similar styles of content. It doesn't take long to look at the whole of ABBA and Preach's content to see that it closely resembles anti-SJW content that you might have seen in Gamergate days. A large portion of their content boils down to crazy woman gets owned for stupid things she did.
But all the things that got them so triggered. Goodness gracious, we don't want anybody of—
Shit, who joined?
Hello?
Oh my god, the prodigal mood.
Yes, I've pretty much finished up painting.
Why the
How
fuck are
goes
you
it?
painting?
It was a nasty orange color. Am I too loud?
No, just a little echoey, but you're fine.
Okay. It was like a nasty orange color. So we decided to paint the apartment white, but I didn't realize how much work painting was. And I didn't realize how much work painting an apartment white after an orange color is there. So we've had to do 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a bathroom with 2 coats of primer in every room and then 2 coats of paint. So it's taken about a week and a half, and that's been my whole life since moving here.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's fucking hell. But a few more days and I think everything's back to normal. Tomorrow I should be on my normal PC and keep chatting it up. We can go back to the Rift, right?
Did somebody say there's already 7 threads made? As soon as you said that, they've already got the threads up.
They've
probably
had the
pre-written
thread
some
ready.
threads.
Yeah. They're going to their drafts and throwing them out.
Well, damn. Have you been streaming and?
Yeah, I've been streaming mostly, but I haven't done too many hours yet, so I'm excited to get back to it fully. How is I'm excited to watch D&D today.
Oh yeah, it's pretty wacky.
I saw you killed you got the fireworm, so that was nice.
Yeah, we did. I felt those 19s and 20s. I knew they were coming.
I saw he tried to pull out some bullshit where the first thing that I would have been screaming about was the protection from evil. That seemed wild to me.
Yeah, people are linking, like, apparently in 3rd edition they specify too.
I saw that, yeah. It just seemed really weird to me that spell was cast on the prime material plane, so it should continue as...
Well, but no, he's saying
was
as
on
soon
the
as we go to
prime
the
material.
demon plane, that's what changes it, basically.
Okay, I would have been mad, but the plus 39 to hit was...
I saw that, I was like, oh, we must have clicked the damage button instead.
Yeah, no. I don't know how you guys survived that one. That was interesting. I think you survived it by the good graces of Koibu, him not attacking you and instead rolling the fucking fire weapon or whatever.
Well,
but
no, I'm pretty sure he attacked me when he could, because I ran the
he
fuck
did
out
attack
after.
you, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he could have attacked Nick, because Nick was always, like, pretty far behind, like, walls and
Stone
shit.
skinned as well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the stone skin, too, yeah. Nick was like full HP the whole fucking time. That was some fucking wacky shit. Because that chill shield protected him from every fire breath, and then the stone skin protected him from every attack, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seemed like that chill shield didn't... That was his own custom spell that I don't think Koibu actually fucking thought over.
Yeah, I don't understand how that chill shield works, because it sounds like... Couldn't he literally just, like, we send in Imric with chill shield, the bow, and stone skin, and the ion stone, and he can just shoot Scoria until she dies.
He's just gonna solo Scoria, yeah.
Yeah. Did he... Oh, people are saying that's a standard 8th level spell. I don't think he... Did he take any damage that entire fight?
I think he took a little bit, but I don't remember from what, because I remember him saying, like, he had to heal. He was, like, gaining HP.
Oh, yeah, he was getting a little bit of HP. I wonder what
he
even took damage from.
Did you see the thread about your movement speed, or no?
Oh, that Cloak of the Cheetah is supposed to just flat set it to 45?
It should be flat set to 45, yeah.
Damn.
Which is even better, but... Yeah. How's the DGG sphere been? What have you guys been up to?
Oh, he just ate lava. That's what caused the damage.
Oh, that's what it was.
Waiting to see how many different combat things we can get nerfed by the end of this episode.
I don't think you guys have much more combat. That's my guess. I wouldn't imagine him giving you too much more.
No, yeah, not after that fireworm had to have been like the final thing.
That
yeah.
seemed like the big fucking boss, yeah.
Plus 39 to hit. What a memer, dude.
We might as well I think we can just go kill Scoria fucking now. You two might have just been able to do it if you survived the fucking fireworm.
Well, with that chill shield just seems insane. Yeah. That's just
he can only put it on himself though, right?
Yeah, I know, but still, that's pretty fucking wacky.
Insane, yeah. Which plane are you guys going into? Oh, you're going into the Velthara proto plane or some shit.
Yeah, and then from there, wherever Anton is.
Wherever the memes take you.
I'd have so much respect if we got there and you died. You're already dead. Cobra's like, no oxygen in this plane. Sorry,
he's like, yeah, I told you that he's probably fucking dead.
Based.
That'd be fucking based.
Has the league grind been going at all?
No, I refuse to play it on a laptop because I've been in games
it feels
with
like
you on
shit.
a laptop, and I've seen how you played on a laptop.
Yeah,
so I was like, I'm not gonna do that to them.
Doesn't feel good.
So I'm waiting. I accidentally threw my. This was the thing that made me, I think, the most mad on this whole trip. When we were starting to move, I couldn't use one of those pods, so I had to immediately change it to shipping everything. And in my days of being A, tired, and B, having the flu, I fucking threw away my good monitor instead of throwing away the shitty monitor Dan gave me.
Oh no.
So I threw away a $600 to $800 monitor. And I get here and I'm like, oh, I'm excited to unpack my monitors and get them all hooked up. And I open it. And I'm like, wait, I thought my monitor was like an LG one. Why do I have this Asus one? Oof. And then I fucking
realized the moment of dread, and you were like, oh.
And I remember the moment that I was throwing away the fucking monitor into those blue fucking trash cans downstairs. I was just like, fuck me.
Right.
It's alright.
He missed through. True.
I missed through. I did.
I left
I couldn't
so much
believe I did it.
shit behind at my house and or my apartment in Huntington Beach because I had to fit every single thing we owned. Or
In
we
a
were gonna
car,
bring.
yeah.
My
I saw
blue
you.
car,
I
yeah.
couldn't believe how much you fit in that. You.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
What
held us
I
on.
thought,
Yeah, we
yeah.
had that shit was. You know how annoying it was to drive for like
That shit was
43
freaking
hours with my
packed.
fucking car full of everything? Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
It's good shit.
Did you just leave it inside and they take your security deposit, or did you just throw it out?
We left a few things in the garage. There was like a desk and some chairs, a mattress, and everything, but yeah.
Not too bad. I think here, if you leave shit in the loading bay, they like charge like $100 per item or some shit.
Where in the apartment place you're in now?
No, where you're at.
Oh, probably. I mean, I wouldn't leave shit here. Yeah. Did you end up going with that one person's apartment, or did you guys get a different apartment, or?
We actually did get that apartment, yeah.
Oh,
My rent is 1,700 CAD a month
nice.
for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, it's fucking sick. It's like 1,400 USD, giga-based.
Ask Mr. Mooten about his dyad. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Dyad? Wait, what? Who said it? Do you see the name?
In DGG?
Dyad. I don't know what the fuck a dyad is. I don't know.
Fuck, I have no idea. Well,
2 bedrooms for 1,700. First off, it's Canadian, so it's 1,400 USD.
uh-oh.
And second off, I don't think that's very expensive.
Let the triggering begin. The headpiece wisdom thing. You mean a circlet or whatever?
In my circlet of wisdom? What about it? I think it might have been because I've said diad weirdly before, like dad, but I said it diad. So I think people are maybe memeing on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm in Toronto. I mean, I'm not like in Toronto city center, but I'm there. We rent from a nice Portuguese family, so they gave us a good deal. Jake, you're good. Are you guys doing D&D or what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Waiting for Nick.
There's
and,
no fucking call.
for Nick and
Nick.
Quibs.
Nick said we're coming, buddy. I'm pretty sure I'm not dead, but if I deleted all my shit in my bag of holding, so
Wait, why?
because I'm pretty sure that all that shit is fucking gone.
Maybe it's scattered out on the ground next to you in your other dimension.
It could be there. Anton's just reaching.
Wait, what'd you
for
have in
the
that bag? Anything important?
The only thing I had of real importance that I can remember was the potions of slipperiness that I'm gonna have to remake. Everything
so
else
that we
was
can't get
like
grappled
not
or whatever.
yeah, everything else wasn't too important. I had all my rings on me. Yeah. All right. God, you know what triggers me? All these fucking morons on either the Koibu subreddit or in fucking chat who type, Destiny, are you mad that Mr. Wooten didn't just put Anton's hands above the water and open the bag that way? Koibu would have made me take
how would that have
fucking
helped?
damage. Yeah, they're just dumb. They
Yeah, you
think
would've
like I
taken
wouldn't have
dam-
taken the fucking damage.
Yeah, you would have taken at least some damage, and you were at like fucking 8
Yeah.
HP or something, weren't you?
Super low. Yeah, I might have been at like. Yeah, I think 8.
Also,
8
how are you
no,
just
14.
putting only barely your hands above the water?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were saying, well, you just put your hands above the water and then you turn the bag over and grab out of it.
Grab what?
I don't know. I don't even know what I was grabbing for.
Dumb.
Fucking dumb.
Have you talked about Crowder's ban on YouTube? Wait, did Steven Crowder get banned on YouTube?
Uh-oh.
What?
Did he actually? I don't believe that.
Why don't you believe that?
Because if he got banned, then we got to start worrying about your channel.
Damn, I'm not even remotely like him. What do you mean by that?
You know about the Taliban. You know what they do. I'd like to announce I'm backing Dan for Buddy of the Year. Sorry, go ahead.
Denouncing him?
No, I'm backing him.
Oh.
I'm on his side. I take myself out of the running. I'm not.
Sneeko's getting Buddy of the Year. Dan's doesn't have a chance.
I don't know who Sneeko is.
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
All right, see ya.
Have fun. Be careful.
Bye.
This is gonna pollute like crazy, and it's gonna super aggro these nests. But I need oil. I'm gonna build rockets to clear it out. I think the AOE rockets. But all right, I'll be back in a bit. We're doing D&D, and then tonight we'll go through all these fucking videos I got open. Jesus Christ. Common Fresh L.
Live with a girl, bro. Comfort happens. If you live with a girl, bro, comfort happens. And comfort leads to what? Comfort leads to like things that basically when
Wait, what?
if you live with a girl, bro, comfort happens. And comfort leads to what? Comfort leads to like things that basically
Sorry. That look was funny. Damn, dude. These guys shit on Fresh so much. I feel bad. Jesus. It's a brutal subreddit. Oh my god. Steven Crowder, YouTube. Why are people saying he was banned? God damn, this guy does so many views. Is that really 500 views on a daily show? 500,000 views on a daily show? Oh, wait. No, wait. This guy does nowhere near as many views as I thought. Wait, am I insane? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 8 days, 9 days. Oh, does he do 2 or 3 days a week? Is that? Okay, never mind. I thought he streamed more. He has views on his site too. YouTube suspended the show over.
Ended. Not for anything I said, but for what the future governor of Arizona, Kerry Lake, said regarding election integrity. You know, the election.
What? I gotta leave. I got a D&D call right now. What's up?
All right, no, that's it. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh my god, guys. Oh, there's no fucking way I just get fucking absolutely dumpstered. Wait, did I die and... Kind of ass. It's pretty much chalk. Brutal day. Brutal day. I might just do some, hanging up. Not a fun one because it takes a long time, but... Go for it.
Okay. He's really fighting on that.
Hello. Hey, my life. Swag. What's up, boys? What's up, boys? On a Thursday, hating our lives, gaming, playing. Remind me who B is. Name. Big Sean Bear. B. RBGing or arenaing. Can't even win in a duel, Kai. You're a burster. It's totally fair. It was funny. Me and Lily were talking shit to each other this morning. Talking that mad high IO ish, and I was fucking dying laughing because I'm like, you better keep that same energy because you know today I'm gonna get 1 point above you. I'm gonna screenshot it and put it in Dungeon Talk. I don't want to say, look. I'm like, look at this 2400 trash can, actual trash can. What the? Okay. And I think I'm trying to do a 22 Kara upper. Ooh. I think the only portal I'm missing is a lower because I haven't timed to 20. I've only done 20s. Non-timed. And it is a rough. It is a rough. It's even this week with the witches as the boss. It's cancer because like everyone first off is getting introduced to it for the first time, and then it's a DPS quality check. So one, making sure you're at the actual your portal, your little jump up, and then two, you gotta DPS fucking ads because they'll literally just like make me pump 25k HPS. No, just solo him, challenge him, dance against him, show him who's boss. I got a 21 yard. Does anybody need a 21 yard? Whether it be IO or not. You have back. Well, that's yeah. Okay, yeah. Doing a 20 everywhere is the goal. Yeah, I agree, but I think the non-time 20s I have are Grimrail Depot, which is doable. I've been looking at these fucking higher like 25 key places because like it's way easier to see where the damage source is coming from and like how to avoid it. But like I'm seeing the Blackrock grenade from Nitrog is, I don't know if it's avoidable. And on Tyrannical, I did a 23 and it was fucking literally bringing me to like 2% HP every time. Oh yeah, Kai, did I tell you I bought my ring already? I said I was, bro, and we're doing Anduin tonight, so it's like, bro, I bought it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. If I loot it, then I just hey, if I loot it, I gift it to somebody. Somebody actually just gets an Anduin ring, low key. But so there's two things, Kai. I was thinking. I'm like, one, I could be a completely Giga Chad friend and get Ragallon's dagger, and then if I do get it, gift it to Kai. I'm like, I could do that, but I was like, the priest ring is. I don't think I could go a full week without it. It's just too. It literally has an 80 to 90% uptime. That's like, these keys are ass, bro. I fucking hate these affixes. These like, well, it's a healer affix week. It's a healer affix week, to be honest. My last, I've done 222s, 220s, 16, 15, 14, 8. I have a 14 and 8 on my bottoms. Upper is so doable though. Upper is so doable. Do you guys know if there's any fucking tricks for the last boss? Because I get lost with the bombardments. So, like, is it like if you guys stack on each other, there's less on the ground? Do the bombardments follow you? Because like I swear, bro, I look around and like at a certain point it gets the whole ground green, but you have to figure out which ones hit first, and it's like fuck, bro. Like this shit's actually a headache. Yeah. I basically just like at a certain point when I get lost, I just pop a defensive, like, okay, hopefully I don't get hit. I'm wondering if I want to run back the bridge. But, like, then if there's any like DPS or damage I need to hit, fucked. And then like I have to make sure I get the that I get the spells off at like a staggered time frame. Like that's why it's difficult for me. And that does way more damage in Tyrannical now. So it's like the dots don't just tick, they just fucking chunk. Fuck. Wait, Kai's on his warrior? Oh my god. Bro, you are kiting me! Bro, you just gotta let me fucking heal you. No, my tank is, because we're right before Curator, and he was like circling the room, and I'm like, bro, you gotta just fucking let me heal you sometime. Like, he was running around the room, and I just couldn't fucking get to him. I was like, I'm trying to get explosives while this is happening. It's like, bro, chill, please. Let me do my job. I was like, I have cooldowns, let me use some. So what I hate about this week is it literally doesn't let you fucking pump HPS or fucking DPS. You are just, all globals are on explosives if you're like half decent. I'm just sitting there like, oh, I'll make sure you guys are all safe. Yay. Tanks and healers should be able to both do it, because like the tanks don't really do much otherwise. They're moving, but like if there any melee explosives, they should have, like, in theory. That doesn't exist in my world. I wish it was that easy. Yep. Why don't you cap it then, Kai? Clutch up. You need to clutch up better. Just do better. Why didn't I think of that? I gotta get my shadow set ready for tonight. Couldn't beat that, Kai? Did you even pop wreck? I think you could have full sent harder. You heroic leap on him for the damage? Dude, Kara is quite possibly the most unlucky place. It just kills. It's the killer group. It's like it's the group killer. Literally, just one mistake, everyone's like, "Fuck the key, bye." But it's so stupid because like, and I don't understand some of the like simpler bosses like curator. People are fucking up on it. I'm like, bro, like how are you 2300 but you don't understand curator? Also, Grimwell Depot. That shit annoys the fuck out of me when people don't understand that boss or those bosses. There's like one part of the boss I need to figure out, but it might just be as simple as I need to shield shit. Raven. Huh. Done. Tired. Not bad. Yeah. What's not good when left alone though? I leave Kai on his mage by himself, no interrupts, no nothing. I wonder if he's good. You should find out. I mean, I left you alone in that duel. I have to. Fuck. That's a ride or die. This shit's rigged. I'm sorry. How do I check which legendaries I have and which ones are equipped to what? Is it collection? Yeah. Uh, Need to get some money. Oh, I have money, but I need to get more money. Ooh, tokens are up today. Up the norm. Yo. Why is the auction house bugged as fuck? Dude, what is with this shit fucking game? The auction house, like, there'll be one at like a super low price, and it's bugging the fuck out of the auction house because like it doesn't take it down, but it doesn't like let me refresh it away. So anytime I try to buy one of something, it says this item is no longer available. And I'm like, that's cool. Let me buy the next one, and it won't let me. And then when I try to like, oh, maybe if I do like three, it still includes the first one. That item is no longer available. I'm like, get fucked. I hate you. But it's always when something's like heavily underpriced. I'm getting ready for raid tonight. 4 hours in advance. I'll load it first, and I'm gonna like, I can't give it to you. I don't know. Sorry, I got first sigil. I gotta switch mains. Unbelievable, dude. Mr. Eggs, stop by my stream chat. I saw it. I'm terrible at reading. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I always feel weird. I always feel weird if I just like maybe it was just because in Warzone some people said some really like heinous shit. So I always felt weird. Yeah, dude. Yeah. 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 You don't tell me to suck a dick. I'll suck a dick without you telling me. You don't have to tell me to suck a dick, okay? I'll do that when I wanna. Damn. Shots fired, dude. Shots fired. I I put Kai on a shun list every time he loses a duel with me, so it's like we can only do so many dungeons together, and then I shun him. I wish it was easier to acquire transmogs rather than going and doing dog shit. Does anybody know? Because I've been trying to figure this out. You know, I could probably just watch. I know the rings, the Anduin ring has a visual effect of wings. I've never seen myself have it. You just hate me, dude. Get it? It's fine. What's new? What is new there? I don't know if I need to go mastery or haste or crit. Or crit. Got a priest. Is it really? Fuck. No, I have 14% mastery, not a lot. Fair. So I have 28.5% crit, so I'll have to do some legendary swapperooning. Because I did. Got it. I mean, I was still pulling like 9k DPS on single target, but I was like, not primo. No. I have. That's where you just make a cock. Yeah, this actually is. I just log out. We're not the same faction. Dude, what is with this shit, bro? They should just let us see the raw fucking thing. Not this stupid fucking grouped thing, dude. So annoying. It's actually so annoying. I'm unable to buy any Missive of Masteries because somebody decided to put 3 on for half the price, and the auction house does an update apparently for every 24 fucking hours. I'm just waiting for them to clear out because they're not available. Somebody bought them, but yeah, miss. I'll buy it. I'll buy 2 off you. Oh yeah, that's fine. That also works. I'm okay with this. Appreciate it. That's not big. I'm not tripping. You can give me this Missive Masteries. I'm not even not chill. I'll be in Orbos. No, I have my haste ones, and I'm just basically gonna break down my legendary. Players. Thanks. Thanks. I need Lawn Boy or I just did some. I did a stupid thing. I definitely did do it. I'm gonna be breaking these down. What a fucking like thing. It'd be like that. So then, Kai, is like the point of like your rotation is basically trying to optimize your mastery, or is that like a secondary thing? Like naturally, your rotation will have that. Yeah, fuck me too, Kai. You're right. Yeah. Because like the mastery is the key. It increases the damage done on a target with 3 of the dots on it. So, but the difficult part is devouring plague, because devouring plague is a very short cooldown, or very short duration. It's like 6 seconds or some stupid. Yeah, that wasn't even a lot. No, I'm saying my mastery didn't really increase. It went from 12 to 16%. What is it? It didn't go up much. I have to have some shit that smash. Hey, 20%. And then I could use soles. That'll. I have to have some fucking bracers or some shit. Fucking help. This is why I hate going back and forth between Shadow and that. Like the time between me updating my Shadow set, like forever, forever. I just never do it. So it's like now I have to go and like hustle and run around and find shit. Makes sense. Probably. The real question is, will I be able to beat fucking Eric? That's the hard. He is cracked. I know he is. And I'm like, he is kind of cracked. I need to know what's a good like cap to, or what's a good like number to hit for your mastery. Because I have 30% haste, which is obviously what I want. But then I have 20% mastery, which seems so low. What do I have that's seems like really low? But I have like mastery gems. I have a mastery ring. I have a haste ring with mastery offering. I guess I have a lot of like I have to have some cloaks and shit that are just like dog dude mastery. Those are not what I want. No. A lot of fucking loss for eye level. Fuck it, dude. Does it look like I give a fuck? Oh my. Okay. Lower is actually just pure cancer. It's not like it's just that's what it is. It's just pure cancer. Okay, so it's not totally fucked. Cause I have to remind. Oh, wait a minute. I could really yoke myself out here. 21% with solar. Without solar. That's only dead ass. 133 fucking mastery is only 2%. That's wild. Because it seems like I'm at a DR at this. Because like you would imagine 30% is your DR in theory, right? Your DR is going to be around 30%. There's no. I would have to be, mind you, 20% is 1100 mastery. So like even right now, I'm gonna be like heavy over. I'm a mastery Soleil's pick. But I have 30% haste already. I'm already haste capped. And so like I could, in theory, go and use my this trinket that is Soleil's and just give me more mastery to pump. But then that takes away some of my int, which isn't always good. Yeah, I've had that. I have 2 copies. I have one at 282 that I leveled up from level 2 out of 12, and then I got this one like a week later. After out of 15. That was my idea of luck. But I could go, instead of going deteriorated construct core, which is like it's not bad, right? It's not like the worst. Yeah, I don't think it's good. Maybe I just use that as my off. I put that as that. But I still have Soleil's. Hey, bub, don't puke on my bed. Big dog's hacking up a lung on my fucking bed. I'm like, chill. Fucking do that. Bub. Don't fucking puke in my bed. You guys can just go downstairs. You bother. Okay, I'm Shadow now, so I am gonna hate my life. Actually, I'm just gonna watch something. Babe, if you're there, I love you. Back round rate.